Currie is an avid independent crafter and designer who loves the challenge of crafting everyday and special occasion crafts using recycled, found, daily life, and cultural items in her projects. Andrea is the co-host of the fabulous Pajama Party Live on Wednesday nights, where she shares her love and enthusiasm for crafting. And she also hosts her own internet show called Craftastic Live. I'm delighted to welcome Andrea Currie. Hi, Andrea.
Tiffany, thanks. I'm really excited to be on the show this morning. Well, I guess it's afternoon for everybody. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning. Hi, Cindy. It's so great to be on the show because I'm going to be doing some really fun, gifty type of crafts. Sorry if I have any lines underneath my eyes. I did wake up 2 hours ago, I promise. But today we're going to be doing some really neat pendants. But they're going to be made out of straws. So let me just show you some of the basic materials that we're going to be using today. Some straws, so you can recycle those straws that you pick up all over the place, maybe Starbucks, that kind of thing. Also, if you have some colored straws, it could be fun to work with colored straws as well. So I have these yellow colored straws that I might be working with today. Yay! We're going to be melting straws. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then really what you need, an iron and some parchment paper. Iron and parchment paper, that's what you really need. And what that's going to make is something like this. Now Tiffany might actually have a picture, which she's putting up right there. So that is something that you can create with fused straws that you've recycled. That has some acrylic paint on it. I just stuck a little brad through there. It's a pretty easy little project and a lot of fun, and since it integrates some cool recycled materials, we're going to have a really good time with that. And you really do have endless possibilities with this. And in fact, today I'm going to be using alcohol inks. Probably less acrylic paint and more alcohol inks. So I love playing with alcohol inks. Alrighty, you can take that down now, Tiffany. Thank you. Alrighty, so as I was saying, you need parchment paper. You need yourself an iron. It needs to be on hot with no steam. And you need an ironing board. And I'm just going to move my stuff around before I move on to Craft Cam. So you can see I got my cool ironing board here, my little ironing board. And you need probably about 5 or 6 straws. Sorry, I'm looking for all my materials now that it's been covered. So it looks like I have about 8 straws here. And I'm just going to do these in the colored straws so that you can see. Kind of hard to see the clear straws. So we'll just use these. I got these from IKEA. Fun stuff. And make sure that your iron didn't fall asleep like I think mine might have. So let me just unplug it real quick. Plug it back in. And back! Alright, so let's go to Craft Cam and I'll show you how to set these up. Alrighty. Craft Cam! So you should be able to see. Alright, so you should be able to see my ironing board. I'm going to put down some parchment paper. I always choose the most complicated craft to do on my shows and all my other shows that I guest on because, you know what, it's not fun until you're completely moving things around. Oh, wow, look at that, sepia tone. I have no idea where that came from. I have no idea why my Craft Cam is freaking out. But hopefully you guys can see that. Now you can't. Let's go back to regular cam. Oh, maybe not. Is anybody else seeing how weird that is? That's so strange. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is just basically make a sheet of your fused straws by taping it down. Regular Scotch tape here. Just tape it down at the top and the bottom of the straws just to keep them together so that they're actually going to fuse together. Tape it straight down to the parchment paper. Yeah, I know, it's weird that Craft Cam is freaking out today. I have no idea why it's doing that. Maybe it'll come back. I know, I have no idea. I could probably do this. Oh, it seems like it's like every time I touch the computer, it wants to come back. How strange. So I'll try and keep looking up to make sure that it's still on. But you just want to make sure that all your straws are really, really tightly together. And that's why we're giving them a little bit of tape. For the most part, you're going to be using the middle part of the straws to do your pendants. So just make sure that those are as tight together as possible. All right. There you go. I'm moving to the right. So the top has been taped and the bottom has been taped. Just as long as they're as tight together as possible. Is that good for you, Tammy? Good. I hope so. Now you just need your other piece of parchment paper, and like I said, your iron has to be on hot, and it has to have no steam on it. Wow, this craft cam is just doing some crazy stuff. I've never seen anything like it. I have no idea why it's doing that. I use this thing like 3 times a week. So what I'm doing right now, if you can't see it because my craft cam is freaking out, is I'm putting my hot iron, which is tried to turn off on me, on here, and you put it on for about 10 seconds. Now this really just depends on how hot your iron is going to get, and also this depends on the straws. Some straws, for instance, like these decorative straws, take a little bit less time to actually melt, where those clear straws take a pretty good amount of time to melt. So I'm going to just put it on there. It looks like I have no idea why my craft cam is freaking out. But looks like we have some pretty good melting action on, and I'm just going to switch over. Oh, look, there we go. And what you end up getting is something like this. So here's my clear ones. And what I love about this project is that you're kind of getting this neat glassy effect when you pull off your straws. So that's why I really like to use the clear straws, recycle those clear straws that I probably get all the time at Starbucks. And I'm going to move that back there. And then you just fuse those together. You can actually make these into just more than a pendant. You can make them into some really cool embellishments for your projects. So let me just move my iron out of the way. And you can see some of the fun things that I've created with these. So I've created this really neat little pendant here that has some wire on it. Let's see. And then I'm also in the middle of creating some neat ones that integrate buttons on them. And I'm going to use some alcohol inks really quickly. Obviously, this is just giving me a hard time, so I'm just going to try and do as much as I can with craft cam not freaking out. But with alcohol inks, what you can do is just, you can dab them on, or you can do my little technique, which is just sort of running them on. And if they're going to go down the little seams here, and just give yourself, this is Adirondack alcohol ink from Mr. Tim Holtz. We love Mr. Tim Holtz, don't we? So, and you can hear in the background the crinkling of my other project sort of getting cool. And it looks like my craft cam doesn't want to come back. Now, I'll show you with, I already did this one with some really neat acrylic paint, and I just wanted to add a little bit of my alcohol ink. The acrylic paint that I used on this one right here was actually Smart Acrylic Craft Paint, and it's metallic bronze. I always recommend using some sort of bronze or some sort of metallic in these projects. It really just gives it a really neat glassy effect, and that's also why using alcohol inks is really fun as well. So I'm just kind of doing this whole sheet in this really fun green, bronzy sort of color. And I'm going to use my dauber just a little bit to work that in, like that. Wow, I don't know what is going on with my camera, but it is freaking out. So that's going to give you, I have no idea why it's doing that. But that's going to give you a really cool kind of marbly effect. Let me just move on over to my head cam so that we can all see. I can show you as much as I can from the head cam. Alright, sorry. I don't know why my craft cam is completely freaking out. I've never seen anything like it. Alright, so really what you need to do, so you can see I kind of did some crazy work on that. And then what you need to do is just cut it out to the size that you want it to be. And I want mine to be about 1.5 by 3 inches, maybe 2.5 inches, something like that. It's kind of a cool glossy effect there.